I want to tell you a bit of a story about what's happening in the Muldoon household at the moment, which has been very interesting to observe given the change that has happened in mine and Jason's lives over the last 12 months. So a few old mindsets have been creeping in, which is very interesting because, you know, that was a thing of the past. When I say that, what I mean is Jace has gone back into a bit of a mode where he's stressed about money. And that comes from a number of things, which I want to tell you about because, you know, we like to share and we've got no big secrets. So we started a new business last year, a bit earlier than we were expecting, called Just Doing It. And it is a fishing charter business. And so it's a startup. It's a startup business, and that business is fresh, new, and basically being built from the ground up. Like any business, there's been some upfront investment into that. We've needed to buy, obviously, a commercial vessel so that he can take customers out on that. So we financed that. We had to invest in equipment and tools and resources. And we also purchased a house up in Humpty Doo in the Northern Territory in order to, you know, start settling up there, which has had about, 60 grand's worth of renos done on it so far. So right now we're down in New South Wales in Wentworth, where we live in our caravan for about 4 months of the year, because the property here that I'm at, we are renting to people, and they allow us in that agreement to stay here for the short time that we're down south visiting our family. So all of these decisions we've made have been based on a couple of things. One is Jason's lifestyle and him working in an industry that he just loves and is passionate about. Two, you know, decisions like sacrificing living in a caravan for a number of months of the year is a financial decision, because I can't justify having 2 houses vacant for 4 to 6 months of the year. Financially, that's just not viable for us. So the house up in Humpty Doo, we have a caretaker who's not paying any rent in that, and then we've got renters in our house here on the beautiful Darling River in Wentworth. But what has happened, because Jason's other business, so Jason's also working in carpentry. So he's doing bathroom renos and working as a builder in Wentworth when we're down south, to supplement the income of the new startup fishing charter, which, thanks to many of you and a lot of our supporters, we've got a really great lot of bookings for this year already. But what's happened because of the situation that we've put ourselves into is Jason's starting to stress out because he's gone back into a state of uncertainty, right? And so have I. We're in this together. So we've got the 2 mortgages. Jason's uncertain about the level of income and sustainability of the level of income of the second business, how much we'll earn from fishing charters. You know, we've quoted them up, and we know what our runoff season's going to give us. We know the income that's we're going to receive, and we know the profitability on it all. But it's still an uncertain place for us to be. So we are like, all right, well, that's, you know, in 2-3 months we'll earn nearly what Jace would earn in a year on the tools, but there's still this uncertainty because our situation is so different to a normal year. So I guess what he's gone and done, he's gone and overbooked himself with building work while we're down here, because there's certainty in that, right? I had said, Dal, I'm fairly certain, because obviously I make an income too, that we will be absolutely fine, and I've done the numbers and I've shown him our budget and I've done all of the things that we would teach you guys. But this mindset has crept back in that I haven't seen for quite a while, which says, oh my God, I have to work my ass off because we're not going to survive, which is total bullshit. But isn't the mind a powerful thing? So Jace has gone and overbooked himself because an old mindset that he'd had has crept back in. And that's okay. I was expecting this, and I think this is a normal thing for anybody who's making the significant change that we've made in our lives over the last 12 months. So there's nothing wrong with old mindsets creeping back in as long as you learn from them. So it's been a really cool exercise because I've just sort of gone, I understand what's happening here. This is familiar territory for us, and I understand that Jace is a bit stressed because we have no certainty around what our fishing charter company will do for us. And on top of that, there's another business that I'm starting up called Foul Hookers, which is fashion for female fishers. So there's a level of investment that's required for that business as well. So there's shit flying everywhere, guys. Like, there's money going everywhere. It's going out fast. We're trying to decide if we want to buy a third vehicle so that we've got something reliable for me to drive up and down. So there's a lot of things happening. And what this is creating in Jace is a level of uncertainty that has pushed him, well, he's then pushed himself to go and take on work that's pretty much too much. It's too much work for him. He'll get it done because that's what Jace is like. He's a workhorse, just like all of the fellas that follow on here. But it got me to thinking about how easy it is to slip back into old mindsets when you make significant change. And it got me to thinking about what we can do to combat that. And so what Jason and I talked about is, what can we learn from this season down south? So the building season, we've got the fishing season now and the building season. So he will do the season up north where we have a fair prediction of what his income will be for a certain amount of time. But then there's the tourist season that we're not as sure about because we haven't tested and measured it yet. We're thinking about, is the Humpty-Doo 5-acre property still a viable option? Do we need to reconsider that? Is that something that still aligns with what our goals are? It's about collecting as much information as you can to gain the certainty that you need to make the decisions that you need to make. And some people don't know how to do that. So I'm about to get on a call with a company. I'm really excited about it. And I've had multiple convos this last couple of weeks with business owners just like Jace, who are in that first few years. So we've been in building now for 7, 8, 9 plus years. He's been in building since he was 15, but on his own for that amount of time. And I remember when he started out on his own, he went from subcontracting over to, getting people to work for him and stuff like that. And it's a scary time and it's an uncertain time. But what you can do when you come into this sort of situation financially where you're like, shit, I'm at a crossroad here. Should I put on more staff or should I not? Should I buy that vehicle or should I not? Should I take on this big client that means I'm going to have to invest in a lot of expensive materials or should I not? You need to gather information. So what I did when I realised Jace was slipping into this hole is I got our virtual assistant, Gwen, to go into the spreadsheet that's got all of our bookings for 2025 for the fishing charter. And then I did a quick and dirty sums on how much building work he would need to exceed the income that he would normally do on an average year of building. And I showed him the numbers and how far ahead he'll be doing fishing instead of building, and how many bathroom renos he'll need to do at the end of this year in order for us to be well over and above what he would normally earn in a financial or calendar year. It doesn't matter which way you do it. And I showed him that. And he's like, oh, maybe I should drop one of these bathrooms. I said, it's too late, darling. You've committed. But what have we learnt from this that we can take into our next building season? And he's like, well, for a start, I don't have to do anywhere near as much work because I know the numbers and I know what I need to do. So that is the power of what I'm about to do with this young couple who are in an electrical business. I'm going to show them their numbers. I don't expect anything for it. One day they might become one-on-one clients. Maybe today's the day. I don't know. Maybe they might do our empowered tradie program. I don't know, and I really don't care. But what I do care about is people having the information to make the right decisions. Because I really don't want to see any more business owners feeling scared and making decisions or not making decisions and not taking the risks that really can pay off because they don't have the information. So I'm giving that information to these people for free, putting their data into our Tools for Profit app, and I'm going to show them exactly the path so that they can make the right decisions. I can already see a couple of things in their numbers that they've sent through to me on their profit and loss. I can already see like a quick win immediately that they will be able to earn probably an extra 200 grand a year just by changing one thing that I can see in their profit and loss. That is the power of what we can do for you. This is the difference that it will make in you all understanding and knowing your data. But old money mindsets, old mindsets that you might have been able to change, will creep back in the absence of information. And that is our bag. We've got the information. We know exactly how your business needs to be operating in the wages department, in your operating expenses, in your cost of goods sold. I know it. We know it for plumbers, electricians, builders. We know it for concreters. We know it for painters. We know it for tilers. We know what you should be doing. It's not just generic shit that we teach or that we tell you about. It's tried, tested and true. And our application in our situation right now, having our properties, having Jason starting up a new business, having me starting up a second and third business because I'm also a marriage celebrant, there could be a whole lot of uncertainty, but what we've been able to do through the power of analysing the information that we need to feel certain and comfortable is gone, we'll be laughing, no dramas. Still got a bit iffy about what we'll do about a car because we're not sure what's right. Get something that can tow because we've got this big caravan, blah, blah, blah. But the power of numbers, guys, like, please let me look at your numbers. Please let me into your business to have a look. I'm not here to make anybody buy shit from us that don't want to buy shit from us. But I am here to make sure that you do make decisions that are safe, that you do make decisions that feel right for you, that to make decisions that are meaning that you don't have to be a tight ass or miss out. Like, oh, that's the last thing I want. I don't want people feeling like they have to stay at home because they've got this business that feels like an anchor or a ball and chain. Just get that clarity. So now Jace is right. Well, he is, but he isn't because he's overbooked himself. He's got to do a fair bit of work by 1st of March. So he's snookered himself a bit, but he'll get it done. But that's the price that he had to pay to learn this lesson. And now we've got that under wraps and he's got the data and the information that those decisions won't be made again. So don't ever make yourself wrong, guys. It's okay to go back into some old habits. It's okay to fall a little bit off a wagon that you thought that you had sorted out and, you know, make some decisions that you go, oh, in hindsight, which isn't hindsight grand, I wouldn't have made. So please, if you're watching this or you know somebody that could do with less stress and just knowing where they're at with their numbers, please just let me in. Like, let me have a look. It'll take an hour to 2 hours max of your time, but I will help you walk away with at least 4 to 5 strategies that will make you feel really comfortable about the next steps in your business. Just let me do it. And if you want to do coaching, that's a fucking bonus, you know? But if you don't, that's fine. I just want people to be safe, and nobody can do this business thing on their own. I don't do it on my own. I have counsel around me. I'm talking to people every day about the decisions that I'm making in my business, even though I'm a business coach. And I still make mistakes, and I am okay with making mistakes because I will learn from that just like you will too. But there aren't any mistakes. I always say that. There's only awesome lessons.